Just trying to breathe.
You're going to get poked, dude.
No,
I'm going to get hit real soon. I know that.
Welcome to Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6. Happy Monday. It's our last broadcast of November. We're taking a 2-week sabbatical, so we'll be back sometime in the middle of December. But today we're talking about John's favorite topic.
Whoa, hold on. Okay. This is not my favorite topic. This actually was something that came up in conversation, and you encouraged it so much, and that surprised me. That truly surprised me because I know you don't do it. I know you probably never will do it. I go outside. It's not your thing. Mm-hmm. But every time we pass by a shop that even loosely related to this, you're like, we could stop. You could buy more stuff. You just actually told our station manager that you want to drive to Atlanta to pick up more. So what are we talking about?
Sex and marijuana.
Well, the marijuana part, but we are going to throw in how it relates to sex. It does.
Which is still your favorite topic, sex.
Okay,
right?
If you put sex and marijuana together, I'm pretty happy.
Exactly. That was one of your weekend's adventures. Are we talking that tonight at a date night with the Lunas?
Well, we're going to talk about how it relates because I had so far 2 dates, and smoked a lot, and yes, but we're definitely going to get to that part. Let's start off with talking about a sponsor.
Of course, our favorite sponsor, One Condoms.
They are the next generation of condoms, and they don't just do condoms now; they do lube. Okay, so the reason why we like this so much, I know you love it.
I love it. I actually like it better than Uber Lube, to tell you the truth.
Okay, I still like Uber Lube. I like this stuff too.
Right.
However, what I do love about it is pH balance, no parabens, no glycerin, no artificial dyes, no gluten. I'm like, no DEA, no PEG, what I don't know what PEG is, but there's no hormones. So if you have sensitive skin or allergic reactions, this is the stuff you need to try. It's called Oasis Silk. Mm-hmm. And you loved it, and it comes out white.
Yeah, it's white and clear. It's soft. It's silk. I mean, when it says silk, it's silky. It's smooth. I loved it.
Would you moisturize with it?
Honestly, yes, I would. It is. It felt very natural to me. I really couldn't tell too much of a difference from my natural body to that, and that's what I loved about it. So
on a juvenile level, I liked you talking about lube all over your face. However, if you want to go check it out, go ahead and go to myonecondoms.com. Again, what we really like is they have also condoms that come in 60 different sizes. The ones I love is the Vanish.
Vanish, yes.
They are thin.
They're thin. You hardly feel it. I mean, I think all our play partners do enjoy the Vanish. We haven't tried the other ones yet.
No one's complained.
Nope. No, I had one play partner that said they really liked them. I was like, yeah.
Well, that's good. Cool. Well, we'll be back in just a moment where we're actually going to dive into sex and marijuana here on Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6.
Yeah.
That bad of a Monday.
Yes.
The morning revolted upon us. I do believe it's Judgment Day. Like, if I see missiles shooting up and Terminators walking the street, I know that's the reason.
And welcome back on Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6, where we're talking about John's favorite topic, sex and marijuana.
Okay, well, I want to give a little backstory.
Okay, a lot of backstory. This is a lot.
This is a little backstory. I have really never done marijuana. Mm-hmm. I mean, I did a little in college. I really didn't get into it because, well, I was poor and I valued food more than marijuana. So I really didn't do a whole lot.
So you didn't find that marijuana curbs your hunger and you don't need to eat as long as you have.
What you smoked. Sometimes I don't eat, but sometimes, like, even afterwards, I'm like, yeah, give me an apple pie. The whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that just reminds me. I forgot to ask for Thanksgiving dinner if they wanted pie or not. Thanks for reminding me.
Great tangent. But I mean, even I had one girlfriend going 13, 14 years back.
I thought even longer. Was that
before? It was right before you.
Right before me, but after the ex, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
And we only dated like 3 months, but her biggest thing was like, okay, it's Sunday. We're going to sit on the couch and watch football, which I don't give a shit about sports, and smoke. And I'm like, okay, well, you're kind of hot, so I'll sit and smoke. And whatever she gave me, she'd like get all goofy, fun, and fall asleep. And I'd be like, I don't feel it. So whatever it was didn't really get me. So when it came out that marijuana is now more illegal than it's ever been, it was never an interest.
Mm-hmm.
Then the past few, we'll say months, yes. I have been under some stress, doing a lot of stuff. Not that you haven't, but I have anxiety. I've always had anxiety.
You've always had anxiety. That's why when we found the perfect cocktail of a sabbatical week, I said, I don't care if I have to lie, cheat, and steal to get the money to send you on your sabbatical week. I would do that.
Yes, that did calm me down.
Yes, but for 3 months. And then I had to suffer the other 9 months of your anxiety.
Oh, yes, because being with me is so hard.
How often did we fight with your anxiety? Exactly.
And how often do we tolerate your outburst?
My outbursts
They're a part of your personality. I accept it as you accept my anxiety.
Yes, but sometimes your anxiety, it is not cause for logical reasons. And we don't
That's why it's called anxiety. It's like when you tell someone you did a mistake and then they say, well, why'd you do it? It's like, do you not know the fucking definition of mistake? It means I didn't mean to.
It doesn't say that with anxiety. It doesn't say I didn't mean to.
I'm going to try to just continue on here.
Okay, anyway, so you found some kind of miracle cure with marijuana?
No. Yes and no. Okay. I'm still trying to roll this because we're on the show for an hour. You're like, 8 minutes. We can be done. I'm not. The funny thing is she's been on the radio for 5 years. Technology revolted. Podcast radio, 5 years. You know how to do this. What I was trying to say was, up until recently, I didn't do a lot. I didn't care to do a lot. It didn't have an effect on me. What I find funny is when I had anxiety and I also had trouble sleeping, which is what I went to my doctor for. They said, well, have you tried smoking? Jesus. Okay. Getting the card was ridiculously easy.
Yes.
And then I went down and my friend actually, who works at a dispensary, walked me through like all this different stuff. Unfortunately, I found out something really interesting.
What?
There is a marijuana shortage.
Duh.
No.
Did you not see COVID coming?
I was told.
Oh, you were told. See, I didn't hear the story.
You didn't hear the story?
No, you didn't.
Well, guess where all this stuff is grown?
Florida.
No.
Colorado.
Not the location.
Oh.
It's grown in hydroponics because it grows better.
Oh, okay.
Guess where a lot of freaking like Mac Daddy grandiose hydroponics is imported from? China. So it's sitting somewhere on the coast in LA, and once they install it, then they need to actually plant it and make it. So right now they're like, do you like chocolate? Yeah, we have like 8 different types of chocolate. Can I get that one? I'm sorry, we're out. Can I get that one? We're out. Okay, of the 8, which one do you have? We think we got pumpkin spice. I'm like, get out of here. No.
They make pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice, chocolate, marijuana.
Oh God, no. See, I'm anti pumpkin spice. I'm anti. Yeah.
Look, if they could, like, I know some people love pumpkin spice, but the moment I smell it, it's nasty. It's not like peppermint like Christmas.
No, even that peppermint just, yeah. Cinnamon's you know what the scary part is? Even as a little witchy, cinnamon is great for prosperity and abundance. But when I smell those cinnamon brooms, I don't know why it makes
trauma.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Christmas trauma.
Something. It's just like it makes me nauseous or something. I'm just like, dude, this is wrong. But yeah.
So
there's a shortage.
That's what. Well, they didn't really have a whole lot. So I did come back with 3 different things, and well, I went there. Obviously, I said I had trouble sleeping on something that's just going to knock me out. They gave me gummies, which is, again, it's working.
Right.
But I decided to get 2 different of the actual buds, the flower themselves, and I got it. and I had found a pipe that I had from years ago, and I smoked it, and I coughed my brains out. Didn't know what I was doing. Again, I haven't even smoked cigarettes in 10 years. I quit all that.
11.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time.
Because we've been together for 11.
So yeah, that's true.
Soon to be 12. Wow. March is going to be 12 years.
Well, so still, so yeah.
We live. Sorry.
What about what?
That we lived 12 years together or close to it.
We do have a happy marriage.
It is.
Okay, now I need to go smoke some more if you're not gonna come back with yes.
Okay, excuse me. You already smoked prior and drank prior to the show, so this is going to be an interesting show.
It is. I did, and I did it because the machines revolted. I was actually writing. I do software development on the side, and all the computers were revolting. This is bad.
Hence, it also went into my computer, and I'm like, okay, the bad juju's. I got to stage the house now. Anywho's.
So, what I wanted to say, I got a tremendous amount of support from you as far as getting it. So I got it, and it's not like I'm even smoking every day, but I started finding some interesting articles on sex and marijuana because it doesn't sound like it should go together.
Oh, it does. Absolutely. There's a huge market for it. We know someone who actually banks on cannabis and sex. Like that is their workshop. That's what they promote and they preach and they teach it. I mean, it's a huge industry. Unfortunately, still predominantly white. So biopics, people, Black, Indigenous, people of color, we still need to get into that market.
So I don't know. I had like this line of thought going, and it's just like there, and I'm like, keep going, baby. You got it.
What? I was just mentioning that there is an industry for it.
I'm sure there's a huge industry growing.
Yes. So, there's parties and things. I mean, come on. We also tried the Green Baker.
Yep. She did some. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I did actually try some during COVID, but that was horrible.
No,
I need to explain what happened.
The only reason it was horrible because she forgot to tell us the serving size of that beautiful, delicious little muffin.
So it's a muffin. If you think of like Boston Market, it's one of those like little muffin pans, and it sat honestly for what 6-8 months in our refrigerator,
something like that,
because we really didn't think about it. COVID hits. Okay, I'm not going anywhere in the next probably 30 days. We thought. I said, you want some? We'll try it. Of course, you're like, no, you try it. Your brother was here, and I tried it with him. And I love my sweets.
Yes, he does.
So I ate it. The whole thing. I had no idea that was 8 servings.
Because of our mistake, they learned to start labeling how many serving sizes is in each package of all their delicious, yummy goodies.
Well, that night, I mean, I got paranoid. I had nightmares of being late for high school chemistry class. I mean, weird shit. It was not a good night.
It was chemistry class and not biology.
You didn't know my chemistry teacher. He was insane.
Okay.
No, it was a private school. We had a chemistry teacher who would like go into the lab with all these Bunsen burners, walk over to the by the window, open it up, light a cigar, and say, "Do your projects," and sit there and smoke, while a bunch of teenagers are left with knobs to explosive gas. I just thought he was nuts.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
But anyway, my experience wasn't good. My experience has been better since.
Yes.
I've been taking the gummies at night, but I've also have smoked on occasion. I'm not doing it daily. I even put a few days in between it, but
right. But you take only half a gummy, not a full gummy.
Yeah, that's true. Because I did take a full gummy and I was woozy in the morning. But I don't know. Tolerances do change.
True. So we'll see how you grow with it. So I know with your new play partners, the one who introduced you to it, and that's where you started enjoying sex and marijuana together.
Yes. So I had a play partner, and I was really tense on a date during that time, and he offered me something to smoke, and I really wasn't sure, but I said, "What the hell? I'll do it." Again, I'm a 48-year-old man who's doing what most people usually do at 15, 16? or start there.
Oh, start there. They start. Okay,
So I did it, and apparently, as long as I said okay, he kept giving it to me because I smoked way too much for someone who really doesn't smoke. And it loosened me up. The sex was great and continual. I eventually passed out. I mean, yeah. So used the bong. Yep. And it did a really great job.
Mm-hmm.
But I came home the next morning and realized my eyes were dilated because I think I was still high. I passed out. I spent the night. Then I came home, but I was home alone.
Right, because I was on my 9-day sabbatical.
And when you called up, I guess it must have been a little too much marijuana. I just had this thing of, two reasons. One, I guess I was really high. But two, when you were on that vacation, I wasn't going to bring up shit to make you worry. You told me what you were doing, and I said, fine, great. Everything's fine here. We'll see you when you get home. But man, my eyes were dilated. I know that. And I had this thing of paranoia. And after I got off the phone with you and laid back, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It's not like my parents are going to catch me. They're the ones who encourage it now.
Your parents encourage it?
My mom? Okay, I'm going to say this right now. My mom, growing up, told me you can do anything you want, but don't you ever do drugs. Like, it was this demonic change in voice.
Of course it was. My parents did the same thing. But yet to this day, I realize, like, I actually had some friends that even though I went to their house every week, they smoke and I was getting the secondhand smoke. Nothing affected me. It was nothing to me. So I was like, eh. But you know what? We'll continue our story in how our traumatizing parents left us with marijuana, and now what we talk about sex and marijuana here on BFAM 109.6. Oh God!
What's fun? No. Believe it. What's funny is I the one who smoked.
No,
not you.
Just having one of those days.
I know. I have a feeling it's the day I'm going to go after this in the garage.
I'm just going to go to bed. Welcome back on Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6. We were talking about sex and marijuana. But before we do that, let's talk about our sponsor.
Kinkcrate.com. We've been getting subscriptions from them for quite a while. And essentially, it's a nice brown box that shows up at your house every month and has some pretty kinky stuff in it. They put a lot of effort into putting some nice packages together. It's BDSM, it's kink, medical play. Sometimes they have rope, puppy play. But if you don't want to subscribe, you can actually go over and they have previous boxes that you can just order right out. There's also a website there where we're putting our personal stuff up, and we're going to make some videos up there so you can see the products that we actually use. So follow that link, check out King Crate, and hey, be kinky. So back to the trauma of parents.
Yes, trauma of parents there, yes.
So what I was saying, though, is, so I thought my mom was like crazy against drugs or something like that.
Oh, we know your mom can be crazy on certain topics.
And then to find out, I love smoking pot when I was a teenager. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Why is she not smoking now?
She's a little woman, but I don't know. I think she should. Yes. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. How many of us of my family are you smoking? Are you telling us we should smoke? That's not fair.
No. We already know your brother and sister-in-law has been doing it since day one that they've been together.
Where do you think I tried it in college?
Well, of course. That's what I'm saying. So why are you saying that I'm telling that your whole family should be smoking on it since it's already your brother and sister-in-law started? You're just joining. I think your mom should just, say fuck it and do it because of all the pain that she suffers, of all the other things, ailments that she's doing. So I figure since she's a lonely old woman, that she smoking will create more friends in her imaginary head.
If she gets the right almost mean.
What do you mean it sounds mean?
In her imaginary head.
Well,
don't you think smoking pot would maybe dull that Latin edge, that bite?
No.
The point is, my wife is promoting me to use this product a lot. No, we're driving down and I get hey, I found the smoke shop if you want to stop by. I'm like, I don't need anything. I'm good. I appreciate the support, but it's just funny.
Why am I supporting it?
Because you like me not having anxiety.
Exactly. Exactly. So it benefits me very, very much. So if anyone, even of our listeners and all that, they know like 90% of the reasons why I do anything, it's because it's benefiting me. You of all people should know that after, 11 years, that anything I say and do, how I always look, it's like, what's my return on my investment? How does it benefit me?
Or how do you get laid? Yes, I know.
I get laid. Oh God.
So I actually started because of all this and like I said, the good date and
The good sex.
yep, and how out in the open this is. I told my mom, she's like, "No, there's no shame in that." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Now there isn't, but like when I was growing up, there was a lot of shame.
However, I did some research now
Research.
because obviously sex and marijuana or cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's like legitimate studies. There's one here from the National Library of Medicine, how cannabis alters sexual experience. And they did a survey of men and women. And this is recent. This is 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So just as things were coming out. And they wanted to go ahead and see if this was a contradiction. Because I'm sorry, when I think stoner, I go way back. I think Fast Times at Ridgemount High. And oh God, what was his name? The actor.
I see him. I know him. It's not Andy Garcia, which reminds me, I have to book our tickets for Andy Garcia. Sorry.
Sean Penn, Jeff Spicoli.
Who?
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. I see Sean Penn stoned out of his mind when I think stoner, but no, they actually did it and did this. I'm reading it right now as a legitimate study. A 216 questionnaire was filled out. 112. Oh no. It doesn't say how many people it was given to. Oh, 199 participants. So that's a decent study. But the actual conclusion was that many of the participants said that smoking cannabis helps them relax, heightens their sensitivity of touch, and increases their intensity of feelings. Which the first time I read that, and I was not smoking when I read this, I'm like, okay, so what we're saying is, as Americans, because this was a study done in America, we are so repressed. We are so, I'm going to use the word tight ass.
Well, of course.
When it comes to sex, that we need to smoke or should, when we smoke marijuana, lose those inhibitions and can finally enjoy sex.
Right.
What was really funny is I found more studies. There was 3 more studies done specifically on women. And one of them specifically said the increase of the enjoyment of sex was much more for women than on men.
Right.
So I blame Cosmopolitan for that bullshit.
It's always Cosmo's fault. But where's Men's Health in it? Okay, because Men's Health could probably had something in there. That's the honest truth.
I did not find any Men's Health. But I'm not. It should be out there.
It should be out there. But yeah. But it's like, I like the keywords that they use in this article is cannabis, sexual dysfunction, and sexual experience. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of sexual dysfunctions in the body because we mentally like block things out. So, okay.
The way you read that, though, you skipped the comma because it's cannabis, sexual dysfunction, sexual experience. When you read it, my mind said there's something called cannabis sexual dysfunction, which is completely new to me.
Oh. And I went on the tangent. Oh, he just beat me there. Continue on. Carry on.
Well, I wanted to actually get feedback from our listeners. If put it in the chat room, please. We love feedback. But is sex better when you're high?
Apparently for you, you said yes.
What I will say is it was sort of like sex after a couple drinks, probably several drinks, but still able to maintain an erection. I don't know. That's another thing. Does sex affect an erection? According to what I'm reading, no. In my experience, no. But again, I'm just starting out here. But let's see. Another one says increased cannabis use was associated with improved sexual desire, arousal, orgasm, and overall satisfaction. I guess that's a good medical reason. I mean, if we could get sexual health in there, I really want a cannabis card that, I don't know if they write the reason, but I know the reason they gave me, they diagnosed me with PTSD.
Well, yes, we have several PTSD.
But I want one that actually says sexual improvement.
Or
Here's the
sexual
card.
dysfunction. There you go. Say sexual dysfunction. There, that was your
my card to say dysfunction. See, dysfunction means something's wrong, and then I get up to borderline. I want it to be like sexual prowess. Like, here, you have like the license to kill, but not.
Fine. Enhancement. There you go. Sexual enhancement.
And that sounds very, very, that sounds better. Yes. Sexual enhancement.
They had some good points on that article. It's like, what is it? Hold on, go back to the bold. We found a dose response relationship between increased frequency of cannabis use and reduced odds of female sexual dysfunction. So there you go. It reduces the sexual dysfunction. But again, it goes back into like our brain is completely blocked, our mental avenues, because we got to take care of the kids, we got to take care of the household, got to do the job, got to do this, that. How do you calm it down to really enjoy your body and the sex?
Yeah. Well, we live in a society that work.
Or they guilt you. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh no, you did not achieve this. Oh, you did not make those brownies. You bought those brownies.
Oh yeah, I made those brownies. Sorry.
Yeah. I got that guilt. I got that shame. I get shamed a lot just because I cook a little, but when any kind of events, I cater. It's like right now I just had that whole conversation with my family. So I'm like, hello, my motto for the last 25 years of Thanksgiving. I don't cook, I cater.
Yes, but you're not cooking with marijuana.
Well, I don't know how to do that.
So maybe I don't know either.
But the Green Baker's offering some classes on YouTube. We should look into that, or we should even just hire her to teach us a couple of tricks and things, because I know she sells some of her cooking oil and
cannabis cooking oil.
Yeah, she does. I think it is, and I know she does sell some products, some cooking products, so you could add to your food. So yeah. So that's a good resource. And we plug her because she's a really good friend, and we've had her on the podcast. So, and it's someone we trust.
Yes, we do. Okay. We do. So let me ask you, you've seen me smoke.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, I haven't smoked and we've had sex yet, but I think we should.
We should experiment.
Well, we definitely should. This is, I mean, this is an entire learning experience I'm putting out there.
Right.
Because I'm not new to sex, but I am new to smoking. And bringing smoking into sex is a completely new thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'd like to see how this works out between us.
Yes, we should. We should try it, because but also your strands are completely different from your play partner. Try sex with mushrooms. Huh, that's a new one. I don't know. Are you ready for mushrooms, babe?
Hey, why am I?
I am not.
You're not doing
anything.
No,
I'm not doing anything just because.
I'm not saying you should.
Oh,
I just know we had this discussion about, we were somewhere and you said, oh, you need something done? Great, John, take care of it. I'm like, what? You love to volunteer me.
Voluntold.
Now.
Voluntold.
No one. I would try mushrooms. I have never tried them in my life. Again, I've heard about them. I have no idea where to get them. I know they're not quite legal, but hey, mushrooms. Mm-hmm. But lately it's really funny because, again, we're talking about just cannabis. Now, the weird thing is, I'm still like in this neighborhood. I go in the garage. I go ahead and vent it. I really don't want it completely out there. Again, I'm talking on the radio on it, but all of a sudden now I'm hearing stories. I heard just one today of people integrating sex and some kind of drug.
Yeah.
So
forget about everything, because that's not choices.
Because the root chakra
wakes the way up. Because of the root chakra. Uh-oh, now we're going real spiritual here.
So I went to the store. They gave it to me. Right. And then, as you do with anything else, you type it into Amazon. Holy crap. I got one that you kind of make you proud.
What?
Because I figure if you're going into it, you might as well explore it. So I found a box. It has a lock. That's not what I bought it. I know it's a box. However, it has all these little compartments. That's not what I wanted to show you.
It had a lock. That's why he got it. It had a lock.
Oh yeah, because I'm locking you out.
Yeah, locking me out.
I didn't know you had to grind the stuff. So I had someone actually tell me, okay, what to do. So I'm there with a knife. Doing it with a knife was a pain in the ass. apparently I type in Amazon and there's grinders.
Not the app, actual grinders.
Yes, an actual Deadpool grinder.
Deadpool, because Deadpool is our mascot.
So
our car is named Deadpool.
That came the other day from Amazon. And yeah, I'm not showing stuff.
Just to let you know, the smell is very
it's pretty intense. That's why it closes.
It closes, so yes.
And that's why it goes in the garage, so you don't have to.
Yes. But I just, something about it, it just doesn't sit right with me. I just, but I see the results on you, and that's why I encourage it, because you are benefiting it from it and you're enjoying it.
It has been. Mm-hmm. It has been. I still want to take it all the way to see how it works with sex. Mm-hmm. But
well, you've had sex with a male partner.
Yes. And yes, I was penetrated, and it did help relax me a lot. And I was also able to maintain an erection. Mm-hmm. But like I say, this is so completely new. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden I'm hearing all these other stories. It's interesting how people will use stuff like that. I mean, obviously we all do wine for, have some wine, relax, have some sex. Mm-hmm. But now with all the different brands and different strains and different all the stuff out there, this is going to get interesting.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and I did say billion with a B, not millions. It has grown in from being medical use to recreational. There's several states that do encourage or have allowed recreational use. I think Illinois was one, Colorado for sure.
Illinois. Normally, I'm used to walking out of a hotel and there's that like smoking group out in front.
Yes, the tobaccos, the Marlboros, those.
Yeah, there were no cigarettes. No, it was all weed.
It was all weed. I mean, we got contact high as soon as we just hit the wall. It was like, wow. So I think the DC might be the same way. I thought. I don't know.
Apparently, Georgia's not on board yet, but hopefully
soon. I know, like the Miami Exotica wasn't like that. So
no, but it still happened.
But it was more private. That was not in the front area like Chicago. Chicago was like whoa, what cloud was that? And it was all different. It was just like, oh, I'm not a fan. I just didn't enjoy it that much. But now, it's like you do. So
true. But like I said, you've been also exploring a different business and a lot of other training and ventures. So we have been spending time apart somewhat, and I go to my side of the house, you go to your side of the house. We do our things separately and respect each other's time. Mm-hmm. And then we come back together. And relationship-wise, it's working out great.
Yep.
Now, I'm also coming back a lot more relaxed, which I'm sure is a good thing too.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's funny with the holidays and everything going on. And yeah, we haven't had sex after I smoked.
No, we haven't. Not
I
yet.
would have remembered that.
You would have remembered that.
Well, the truth is, for a lot of the times we end up engaging in sex, I'd say more than half of it is morning. Right. Because it's the time we have time to get it done.
Yes. Well, that's when we're also both relaxed and not stressed out or tired or exhausted, or our sleep patterns are off, because there's been times that you've gone to bed early and I've stayed up late, or I've gone to bed early and you stayed up late. So morning time is the only time we could sink in together. But we haven't had morning wood in a while too, so something to talk about with Dr. C.
Yes. And I'm curious about the ongoing use of marijuana and erections, because if it is relaxing you, and really that's because let's be honest, a lot of sexual dysfunction problems are in the mind.
Right.
So if that's curing it, that's a great thing. I'm curious. I haven't found much on long-term. There really isn't a study on long-term use and erections if it does have a negative effect, but I didn't think it would. Mm-hmm. So
on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6.
Ding. I don't even know where that's from. What else to talk about?
We're still talking about it. I mean, there's a lot.
So we're back.
Welcome back on Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6, where we're talking about sex and marijuana. But then, let's talk to our sponsors,
Oh,
SDC.
SDC. We're going to be on SDC tonight. We're going to do Date Night with the Lunas, where we're going to be going over what we did over the last week and little updates on the sex industry is always crazy what's going on.
Right. But I think we'll go more into detail on your date and sex and with your play partner and what all happened. So, because that's usually what Date Night with the Lunas are. We get a little bit more personal and intimate and graphic, but that's what's the fun part. And then we have some questions. Some listeners send us some questions. I'm so excited.
Well, we'll be broadcasting there tonight and on SDC.com. And SDC is actually a great place if you want to research some kink, meet people. It's a huge place, and I love it. I've been there for many years. So check out SDC.com.
Right. So going back on the whole erection things, but we teach a class, the anatomy of male pleasure, and it all goes based on the blood flow. Like you always, explain all that. Wouldn't the marijuana help with the blood flow?
That's a good question. I mean, if the thing is though, it is, but again, blood's pumped for the heart.
Right.
If you're too relaxed, it's hard to get a hard on. So I guess that it's that you can't be too relaxed, but you can't be too tense.
Right. So that's where I'm like, because like I said, we teach a class on this, and that's what brought it up, like how the whole anatomy works and how the function and the chemicals, how it goes through your whole body.
Well, essentially, you mentioned it. It's all about blood flow, and there's actually an artery that lets blood into the penis. That when you are aroused, it loosens. So it's normally tight. It loosens up. It lets more blood flow into the penis. At the same time, blood goes out to your body through arteries and then back in through veins. When it comes back in through the veins are actually somewhat compressed.
Right.
So more blood in, less blood out. Essentially, you're inflating a balloon.
Right.
And that's why it gets all nice and red. It's also the reason the doctor says if you have a hard on for more than 4 hours, come see me.
Right.
Because think about if you tied a rubber band around your finger, it turns red because the blood's not leaving. Well, after 4 hours, the blood dies and becomes poison.
Right.
So they need to actually go ahead and use a needle to remove that blood. And no one's putting a needle in my penis.
Right. Yes.
Not for that purpose.
Well, yeah, not for that purpose, but you do put a needle in your penis for Trimex. So,
okay.
But that's a very, very, very tiny, you hardly feel it needle.
And it's a prescription.
Right.
So I'm not putting, I don't want them taking stuff out of my penis unless I'm the one giving it.
Right. So, I mean, that's where, I was just thinking because of all those, how the body functions, that the marijuana helps contribute to that, construction site. I think that's the best way to explain it.
As long as the heart, as long as you're not sedated and the heart's going, but like I said, the muscle relaxes, which lets more blood in.
Right.
If that relaxes, hey, that could be pretty good.
I think that's the bonus because like you said, it inflates like a balloon and the blood's flowing in. So now would you call that like an aid kind of?
Sort of. As much as like Gatorade is an aid when you go running.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it helps out. It's definitely good not to pass out from.
Yeah, you're moving the camera there. It's like you yell at me. It's like, but yeah, no, it's like. But would you go to like a sex and marijuana retreat?
That'd be interesting. Usually, I'm up for any retreat that has the word sex in it, but it could be interesting. I mean,
I know I haven't seen them for men, but I've seen them plenty for women. So that's why I'm like planning the idea for you to combine.
Well, we may have to go ahead and further explore this as time goes on and give updates on how marijuana is affecting our sex life. Because obviously, anxiety, no one can have sex tense. Well, you can, but you really don't enjoy it. Hey, if this is an aid, why not?
Because I know an awesome place in Costa Rica to have a retreat.
You were dying to go back down there.
I am. I'm going to be there in February. I just kind of did a shits and giggles double booking. I can't believe I did that, but it's me. It's Angelique. What do you expect? That's how I met John. Quadruple booking.
Yes, that is how you met me. So, although, I mean, and I want to put this one out there, sex and marijuana, so far I'm thinking is a good idea. Kink and marijuana, Hold on. No, I'm saying it depends on the kink. If it's like a puppy play, if it's a something like that, that could get you in the headspace maybe. BDSM and marijuana, I'm saying please don't.
Well, it all depends on your definition of kink. That's the whole thing.
Kink is a very umbrella term.
Exactly. I mean, I could be kinky just like, doing a different position.
Okay, you're not Amish. Let's not go that far.
No, I'm not Amish. It's like, yeah, I can't remember those Amish shirts. I have to Google it again. That's just like, what?
Well, I get it. I mean, there are people that are super conservative when it comes to sex.
Right.
And people have a little more, well, we're really kinky motherfuckers.
Yeah, we are. Honest. Yeah, I know. It's just so funny. We're so out in the open that sometimes some people forget that shit and it just drives me insane. I was like, dude, it's okay. It's okay.
But no, don't do kinky. Don't do BDSM.
Not
that
BDSM,
because again, any type of impact. I would never want to play with fire and marijuana. You know,
just anything in the BDSM community.
Ooh,
but
never do rope, never do bondage.
No, none of the bondage. The submission. Again, you say puppy play, but that's critter. Any play,
type of but role play can be done
right
with cannabis.
With cannabis, yes. But again, if it's not including any implements or hard impact.
Right.
You know?
I'm with you on that one. Role play is absolutely fine. It's just I wouldn't go into any implements that are going to hurt.
Right.
Because again, BDSM is all about hitting your target and hitting it with the force you want. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you right now, when I get high, I don't want to drive. Although that's something I did find out about.
What?
Okay, so apparently when I first go into the shop,
mm-hmm.
I get this welcome packet.
Okay.
I felt like it was nice. This was professionally done. This has become a mega industry, but it went through and had a lot of information. Apparently, there's two ends of the spectrum. There's the weed that gets you what we think of weed, or marijuana or cannabis, gets you high and impairs your judgment. But apparently they called it daytime working weed.
Yeah.
Weed to give you energy. Mm-hmm. I have never heard of that before. Again, I'm new at all this.
I was about to say, it's like...
Look, no, I'm sorry. I've never heard anyone say, I have to go ahead and run a marathon. Someone light up a smoke.
I don't know if I could do that. I like my natural chemicals because I just did the half marathon and that was just such an ultimate high for me. I think I didn't crash and burn until we finally got to the bed.
Yeah, you were flying, but I'm just curious if, they say weed gives you energy. I'm like, what kind of energy? Are we talking like Red Bull gives you wings energy?
Oh, God.
If so...
Is that the same one that will give you energy for sex?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Well, technically, they said it doesn't relax you or impair you. Then I'm curious what it does do.
Then we should try that on the next time you go.
As you see, we're going to be gone for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
So we got a lot of experimental time to catch up with. And I guess experimenting with weed is going to be one of them.
Yes.
But anyway, the place was so professional and had
clean.
And had armed guards.
Yes, and it was.
And
clean.
I know why. It's still, the banks won't take the money. It's still all cash.
It's all cash.
Yeah, they had an ATM up there, but it was all cash.
Which I'm surprised because they should at this point try to regulate it or something. I'm surprised that they will not let credit card processing companies allow things, but it's because federal regulations. I think they need to come up with that. Which I wish I still had access to the story, and I saw this on CBS this morning. So legitimate newscast. Back in the 70s, the United States government was giving weed to individuals who signed up for the program, and you just had to renew it every year. And I think they canceled that renewal like during the Clinton administration, if I'm not mistaken. But there are still people, and hopefully they're still alive, that are receiving government granted marijuana weed sent to their house every year, every day, or whatever. I don't know what the distribution is, but I just cracked up laughing when I said that. And one person's like, "Oh, I felt so bad. I lost it, and I couldn't go back to renew it because they discontinued the program." I was like,
of all the programs,
I'm like, the government giving weed. This is like why we need to pay attention to the laws. This is why we need to pay attention to the government to see what's going on. It's just as as the crazy funky law of New Rhode Island 1 year legalized sex. They legalized prostitution.
Whoa. Let's go.
Yeah.
Rhode Island?
Rhode Island did for 1 year until they caught it. And they're like, oh, shit. And then they and you know what happened? All the violence, domestic and, sex acts and criminal acts related to the sex industry dropped. It actually dropped. But they just, instead of keeping it legal, they put it back on as illegal because someone screwed up. So pay attention to your laws. So did you find the article?
I did not. I was trying to see about the war on drugs because, again, I grew up in the 80s like you.
Oh, yes. Reagan.
The war on drugs.
Yes. The Reagan administration.
I mean, that it's funny. I think people like their drugs. People like their sex. And they have a war on both.
Yeah.
At least they've started to end the war on drugs.
A little.
There are still people in jail serving like 30-year sentences for what's legal now.
Right.
That system's all screwed up.
The system is totally screwed up. But please, look at that kid this weekend who got away with killing people because he was white. That's all I could say.
That whole case is messed up.
That whole case is beyond messed up there. But that's the whole thing. Saturday Night Live did a great skit on it. It was hysterical. So anyone, I'm going to probably post it in the Facebook group, but it was how one person was like, the justice wasn't served. And it was a white person next to a black person. And it's like, oh no, hell girl. You forgot to say something. White privilege. That's what you forgot. I was like, oh Lord, it was just
what
true.
Did this kid do? I know he was witness killing people.
No, he had an AR-15 and killed people. And his defense was self-defense. And the jury had to prove, with a reasonable doubt that it was self-defense. And based on the state law, it was, according to the jury, it fit the parameters. So that's why he was found not guilty.
That's insane.
Right.
But laws are changing.
Right. And
thankfully.
Thankfully. And like I said, sooner or later will be the United States across the board. Medical marijuana will be legal. It's getting there. I mean, we have more than half of the states that already say it's legal. Recreational, not so much. It's like a quarter of the states that have it, but still it's enough that people are willing to go. And I cracked up laughing when we were at the Chicago airport that they had the little sanction. It's like little trash can that says you could deposit your marijuana here before you leave. I was like, oh.
Yes, because I'm thinking, okay, who empties that bag?
I like to know where it goes after you empty it.
They're probably going to burn it or something.
But then who gets the high from that if they burn it? That's where I'm like, so many questions goes after it's like the level. But it's like, what do you say?
Hold on. But the really thing that we need to remember, though, is although it varies from state to state, if you cross state lines with it, now you're in trouble.
Right. Depending on the state line. Yeah.
Well, it's also now it's federal and it's not legalized federally.
Federal. Yeah.
That's why they can't put their money in banks.
Yeah. I think that we just need to petition and change the federal banking laws.
Well, know what I think is going to happen?
What? Bitcoin's going to rule the world?
It's not going to rule the world. The dollar doesn't rule the world. But
no, I said Bitcoin.
Realistically, okay. If you haven't heard, Visa has been, MasterCard has been partitioned hard, and they haven't made the decision yet. But basically, there's some dumbass conservative groups who have a war on anything adult, anything nudity, camming, porn, So what they want to do is how they're attacking the sex industry now is they're basically trying to force MasterCard to not allow this, which is causing ripples throughout the industry. And now that they've done that, now they're starting to go after Visa. And it's to the point where even I heard Amazon Web Services actually hosts right now about 22% of the internet.
Yeah.
They're the biggest hoster in the world.
Yep.
And they're starting to put out stuff saying, hey, we know you do the site here, but we can't have graphic material. Here's notice. You have so many months, move off.
Right.
Why? It's digital information, but because of this judgmental bullshit out there, they want to destroy porn. Now, here's the thing, though. Look what happened when they got rid of alcohol. Crime went up.
Everything went up, and it was illegal. People were making money, bootleg. Oh my God, that was how long did that last?
So, what do you think is going to go up if they start out if you can't get your porn?
Yeah, porn. That's why we're trying to get on that. Sex crimes. Yeah.
Because instead of being home and taking care of it yourself, or consensual couples using it in their sex, no, we can't have that. They're trying to ban it through there. Now, here's the thing, though: Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are probably going to be the new way if you want to buy any type of porn.
Yeah.
It's going to go that way.
And you know what the funny part was? They talked about this in 2012, 2011, because I was down at a conference, and here is like, at the time I was naive and didn't think, and Bitcoin was at $12. Now look at it, it's 56,000.
What was really funny is I think you said, should I buy it? Because they were actually giving you like a plastic Bitcoin.
Yeah, they did. And then I asked you, and you're like, no. It's like,
yeah, I know. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, we didn't know anything about it. Yeah, so $12 for a Bitcoin, and yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, we could have like got out of it. We could be billionaires at this point, if we did that. Because I was thinking of buying it, because $12. I'm like, I have $120. I'll get 12 Bitcoins. It's 10 Bitcoins.
Could have changed our life.
Yeah, could have totally changed our lives. I just didn't think about it, because at that time there was several already in Europe sex workers using Bitcoins as payment transaction, and that's why I was like, oh, okay, But I only thought it was just for sex workers. But ironically, now fast forward to 2021, local restaurants here in Orlando do accept Bitcoin as payment.
And I've only been to the one dispensary so far,
mm-hmm.
but it just seemed like a natural thing to say, if you're going to go ahead and shop at a dispensary where the banks won't have us, fuck you, we'll go to Bitcoin.
Right.
We'll take our money and move it out of your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, look, if they don't want our money,
right,
we'll bring it somewhere else, and that can be a lot of money.
That is a lot of money there. That, like I said, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that has been continually to grow, and then so many different businesses have like offset from marijuana, like from cooking to oils and creams, beauty products. Yeah, because I know like one of my friends actually had a cream that she got from Colorado, and it was awesome, relieving some pain that she had, and that's it.
What is it? There's CBD,
yeah,
and THC.
Right.
THC is the stuff that's very, we'll say, managed, but CBD is fine.
Right.
So CBD is out there, and you can buy that at 7-Eleven.
Right.
It's the THC that's the one they're really
regulating there.
Mm-hmm. Of course they are, because there's money behind it, because marijuana is the new tobacco.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6. Yeah. Tell DC.
DC, just skip Wow Tech Group. Just keep it going as it is. Skip the Wow Tech Group.
Touch.
And we're back.
On Sex Positive Me on BFAM 109.6. So we're in the closing end. So we just like to thank our sponsors, One Condoms, Kink Crate, and SDC for providing support here on this glorious show as we talk about sex and marijuana.
Well, the one thing I want to definitely, in the last bit, say is I've been very open, to my friends about having the card, because we're obviously our sex life's out there. I'm not going to hide this one.
Right.
And it's funny because now people are coming to me with other stories. So with the person I did go on a date with and smoke, I got stories about, back in he's older than me, but back in the 80s, man, we could have been having acid. I'm like, look, I'm here. This is as far as I'm going. And again, 48, first time I've ever owned a pipe and marijuana and all this. But all of a sudden people are opening up to stories.
Right.
And a lot of them are from the past.
Right.
But I've had people say sex on ecstasy, sex on this, and I'm not promoting any drugs, by the way.
No,
I am stopping at marijuana. This is enough for me, really.
Well, we already heard someone who came home and had sex and ecstasy. I was like, oh, okay.
I wasn't gonna, don't mention who, but yes, it is out there. And although we don't promote the use of drugs because you never know who's making them,
uncontrolled substances.
We would love to hear the stories, though, at least the good ones.
The good ones, not the like, oh my God, it's going to take my liver. It's going to take my kidney.
Okay. Since you opened that box, the week after my first experience, which was, again, 4 or 5 weeks ago, I open up and I tell her, hey, while you were gone, this was what happened. I was high the next morning. And that's when you started doing it. And I said, well, what's the worst that could have happened? Maybe I was robbed. Again, you go over someone's house. Normally it's not their house, but they get you high. I think that's more of a hotel. But anyway, the point was, I say, maybe they would rob me. While I was high, they could do something. My lovely wife here immediately, without missing a beat, maybe they could have taken your liver. Like, now kidney. Every date I go on.
It's your kidney.
Sorry, kidney.
Your kidney, because you told me it was like a very shady area. I'm like, well, at least they didn't take your kidney. Sorry, so much CSI, Law and Order, all the Law and Orders. Okay.
You're a Law and Order addict.
And Criminal Minds. Yeah. But I'm a more CSI addict than Law and Order.
So now every time I go out on a date, or anytime I now even are in my garage and I start smoking, the thought of her telling me they're going to take your kidney is in my head.
It's not that I keep saying that. You just like have it implanted in you. Like, that is your fear. Now you're going like fear. It's like, maybe I shouldn't get high because they'd probably take me because I'm all relaxed and now they're going to do this.
I'm taking this medically to relax, and you put that thought in my head, which seems like the polar opposite of what it.
Oh my God.
So as you can tell, we're people with demented and very bright imaginations.
We never said we were sane. I don't know where you got this idea that we're sane. I mean, we're very perverted, individuals, and some of the stuff you make up. It's like, hey, babe, it's like, give me a break here. It's not right. I mean, it's like it should be on Rick and Morty, half the stuff that you come up with, because that falls in the same line. That's why you love that show. And I'm just like, no, just no. What was the other one? Venture Brothers. That's your other show. Yes. That's like, I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucked up. And you're like, dude, that's so right. I'm like, oh my God.
It's like watching a train wreck.
It is.
If the train was flying.
I know. It's not even like flying. I think if the train was just like hovering over the tracks and just kind of like, it's not even flying. It's just a little bit up.
Those are called magnetic lift. Yes, they exist.
Yes, exactly.
Anyways,
like we were saying, we're taking a 2-week sabbatical because John's taking his sabbatical next week. And we're so excited about that, all of us.
We're going to be doing some video recording the following week.
Yes.
But I assure you, when we come back, we'll have some new material and we're going to have lots of stories.
Lots and lots of stories.
Because while I'm out of town, you're in town, and your playmates just contacted you this morning. What a good coincidence.
Yeah, just one of my playmates there. So
just one.
Just one. Yeah, the other one just. Well, no, I haven't contacted the other one that's in town because.
Well, that's your own fault then. You should contact him.
Yes, I will. I know, but that would be like kind of like double birthday presents, or I don't know. It's just we'll have to see.
But you'll hear about those adventures when we get back.
Yes, we will. So we'll just have to figure it out. But have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. May we offer you sanity and calmness, because we know family can be very traumatic, to say the least, during the holidays. Or if you're having a blessed one by having a Friendsgiving, God, enjoy that. So we'll see you next time.
Talk to you later. Bye. When you hold that up like this, it's like if there was words across the bottom, like that little dot that goes across, the hopping dot. Oh, there you go. And I didn't get hit by